You used to do all these things alone. It's me walking around with a customer service phone. It's me who's scheduling shoots and directing them. It's me who's managing the people who are doing production. It's me who's posting across the platform. It's me who's updating the website and, and they were like, the issue with that is you achieve very little. Like, it just takes one customer who's so mad at you in the morning for you to write off the whole day.
Hello, champions.
Hey Josh, welcome to Chapter Champions. And guys, we're back yet again with an episode of your favorite entrepreneurship podcast in Kenya and soon Africa. And today we're very excited to host the one and only Josh Nyachio, who's the founder and CEO of ArtFit, which is a brand you might have seen. It's a Kenyan-made, homegrown streetwear brand that was founded in 2021. And you guys need to check them out on Instagram. They have some of the best shoots, models, content, super impressive stuff. So I'm excited to have this conversation. Yeah, karibu.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
I've really waited for this invite. I was almost starting to pursue it through the people that I know.
Okay. Here you are.
Thank you.
We're bound to get to you, especially because you're a customer who we value a lot, and we see the amazing moves you're making.
Thank you.
So it's the right time.
Yeah. And just from that intro, it's surprising to us and also to many people that you guys are this is 3.5 years old or something.
Yes.
And you're this big in Kenya. So just walk us through where you are now, your numbers, how many customers reached, and how were you able to get this much traction in such a short amount of time?
The 3 years, of course, have not been. It's never been easy like anything else. You for people know how hard it is to build a startup. More so when you're doing a startup in the fashion industry, because the issue with fashion is that it's oversaturated. There is you cannot really prove that there is a demand or not there's a gap in the supply in the market, because there are clothes everywhere. So
True.
Our acceleration probably has come in because we had the right team from the start. Of course, it's investment heavy. It takes a lot to put a fashion brand out there, more than I think traditional businesses take.
You have a number in mind?
It really takes a lot. I lost count, because along the way you even have to sell 1 or 2 assets to keep the brand moving. And that is in between the first and second year, because during that time you haven't really taken shape as a brand, and then you're facing resistance in the market. People don't want to hear of something new. They want you to stay around for longer so that they can warm up to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Actually, I started a fashion brand while in campus, but I think it was a tap-it idea, what we call tap-it ideas. It's just obvious that everyone wants clothes and you want nice looking clothes. So we decided, let's get some phrases that we like and put on top of t-shirts and sell. But then soon we realized that it's much harder than that. So I really respect people in the fashion industry, and I've seen many brands come and pass. But this one looks like it's here to stay.
Actually, to add on top of that, because I think everybody's journey in fashion, even the big brands like Amiri and all those, they started at a certain level where they were buying blanks.
Okay.
And these are the plain t-shirts, the plain sweatpants, and then they put their brand there. But now the challenge would be, that looks easy, that you could actually take your 10K, 20K, 50K, go buy blank pieces and then put your idea and then sell within your group
community
of friends. But the biggest challenge with that is, what if all your friends now have a t-shirt that has your brand, and they have it in all the colors? Now, how do you sustain the business? How do you keep the doors open? And then now, I think during that time, there was this wave of people realized there is a power of customization. I can do vinyl. I can do my logo, do vinyl, which isn't as tough as other forms of branding. And then I can get into the market the following day. But now, after you get into the market, you realize, okay, so what next? All my friends have bought my t-shirts.
How do you grow?
How do I grow? How do I grow?
So you're going to tell us how you did it. Huh?
It's okay.
That's going to be interesting.
I know.
Like, let's go back to how you decided to be an entrepreneur.
I think, for me, I've tried so many businesses. I didn't know entrepreneurship was my path, but it was my escape. I needed money. I was young. I was born and raised in Kisii.
Okay.
Sometimes Kisii has very few opportunities for young people, because you find most of the people who are circulating the money are the middle-aged to the old people, and then not so many opportunities exist for young people in such an environment. So, being in the position that I was, even from high school, I knew that I needed money, and I knew that I wanted a lifestyle that only I can provide. So the only thing would be, then you have to try something. You have to try selling something to someone so that you can make money. And then by the fact that you need the money before, you don't have the luxury of going to college and becoming a doctor. You don't have 7 years. You need the money right now. So the easy path would be trying a business.
Not so easy, but easy.
No, the only option. Okay, it's not easy, but the only option. The only way out is to start a business.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So you knew you don't want to get a job. Did you go to campus?
Yeah, I did.
Where?
Kisii. And my story, my education background is quite interesting, because I went to Kisii Primary.
Okay.
Then went to Kisii High School. Then went to Kisii University. 2 of those institutions share a fence, so I was oscillating around the same place.
You should start a brand called Made in Kisii.
No, my people get a lot of bad press. I don't know if I don't know if people outside Kisii are gonna buy that. Yeah.
And just, okay, from Kisii, just before we began, we were talking about, brands like Supreme, Champion, all these things. So I think you also needed to be open to the world you wanted to create. So what was that pull? Did you have a pull towards fashion? And what became the founding story of of ArtFit?
Now, when I was in college, I think on my first year, my eldest sister bought me a laptop.
Okay.
Ile yenye anakununulia nakwambia like me and you we are done. Like I paid school fees for the first year. From here it's you two ujipange with your help, and here is a laptop.
Okay.
So now you have a laptop. You like, I can't. What can I do that can make money? I cannot produce music. I'm not a producer. I cannot do building plans. I'm not an architect. Then I came to Nairobi to visit now my sister. Then the son introduced me to someone who was doing graphic design.
Okay.
And graphic design was like an instant, that's thing that you fall in love instantly, and you're like, I want to do this. And then you could see the market opportunity because you can make stickers, you can make posters, you can make banners, you can make branded caps and all that. So I started the journey with graphic design, did a lot in that space, had a business in that space. But now, drawing towards 2018, 2019, I could already see the slowing down of printing as a business.
Okay.
Smartphones have disrupted everything. No one needs a physical poster. No one needs a physical banner. They can do a video. So I was like, printing is dead. So at that time I had a shop at Kirinyaga Road.
Okay.
I just closed it. I closed it after a short time because I knew printing was on its deathbed.
Yeah.
And then the naturally you gravitate towards a form of printing that cannot be disrupted, which is printing on clothes. It's never going to change. People are still going to wear clothes. They're going to wear clothes with graphics, with patterns. And it's, in fact, when I could look at printing as a whole, I was just seeing that printing on clothes is the only thing that is on an upward
Trend.
trajectory. Yeah, exactly.
Why so? Why do you think it's more prevalent now?
Because first, it started with corporates wanting an identity of theirs. We want branded, we want a polo t-shirt that is written the name of the hotel. Then it got to the level that now we could see politicians with a branded merch. We could see gifts. You could now start seeing merchandising at the level that even something as simple as people want a jersey with the name at the back.
Yeah.
It just shows it's something which will keep
Interesting insight.
going on an upward trajectory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. So you decided to close this print shop, I'm
Yes.
sure revenue generating at that time, to double down on now a specific subset of printing, which was in merchandise. So like, how was that decision? Did you go back to, damn, I'm losing all this revenue and I don't know whether this new venture would work? Like, how was that process like?
The process was like, now I need to close and go back to the drawing board, look for money, because during that period also there was, that is the time social media management was starting to peak. You could get a customer who could give you their Facebook mostly for you to manage it for them. And then you see now, as a graphic designer, you can be able, it's now added advantage. You can be able to create graphics.
Yeah.
You can be able to go and maybe task a photographer, you do a shoot and all that. And now with that, you don't have the running costs of printing or an office. You can actually do it from home. So during that time, it was, I need to go back, close this, go back to the drawing board, look for money, do gigs here and there, and then put the money together, try to do the first pieces and see whether they're going to work. Yes.
Start off with the ArtFit. Or
No.
what was the initial brand?
Starting off was with making fakes.
Oh.
You start with making Nike. You look at it and you're like, there is a really good design of Nike, and if I have a blank t-shirt, and then if I can put it on social media, people would want to buy.
Yeah.
Because then again, I had the advantage of understanding printing and different types of printing. In fact, I loved screen printing so much,
Okay.
which enables you to do more complex artworks, more than 4 colors. So you can look at a logo, re-originate it, and then do your fake Nike, do a small photo shoot and put it online and see how people are going to receive it. And people loved it. But now the issue is, with time, that is a copyright issue. With time, your social media pages are going to be closed. Now that is the time you get a realization that you need your own brand. And now that is when you start thinking about, how should I call it? You come up with several names until I narrowed down to ArtFit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's a key insight. I was having a conversation the other day, and you're just seeing, when a brand becomes so big, we could take like Tasha's t-shirt.
Yes.
Maybe it's going for like 2,000 shillings.
Yes.
Or like $20. We put a Nike logo and it can go for 50.
50, yes.
So I think that was like something very insightful to notice. So just maybe walk us through how important you think a brand is when building in fashion.
When I think the value is in the brand, not even in sometimes not even in the quality of what you're doing, or even the complexity of your designs and whatnot. There are brands which are pretty much really simple. You look at their artworks, you look at them, and you're like, you just did a logo, and that thing now is costing double the price. But now you also have to understand that these people have built the value of the brand. There's something I used to say when I was starting up, and I think it used to fire me up. It was, when enough powerful people come together, they can conspire to give value to something. You know, like if you can see sportsmen, one day a sportsman, even Beckham, would change their hairstyle. Not that hairstyle didn't exist, but just because we know them from a point of value, they are sportsmen now, and they've agreed and said this hairstyle is cool. The rest of the people can follow
believe
suit,
it's cool as well.
So there's just everything to the brand.
See the things that Kanye makes people wear.
Exactly. Like you know, you hate what he's putting out until you start liking it. You look at it, you're like, there's no use case for this product that you've introduced, and nothing to justify the price. But let's just try it because it's Kanye who said I try it.
Okay. That's an interesting point. So moving from brand to sort of like influence, because in fashion, like many other consumer brands, we see influencer marketing.
Yes.
These days taking a lead. How do you think about it for your brand?
In influencer marketing, it's because the moment we are in a moment where social media is just one of the biggest aspects of our everyday. It's shaping trends. It's where we get information from. It's become so intertwined with our everyday activity that the people who thrive in such space now become the people who can influence what we consume, the way we think. The same way, there's a time TV was very influential, that if you appeared on TV, everybody would know you. So that time, TV was the influence of that moment. There was radio, and then radio was king for some while, and then now it gave way to TV. and now TV was and radio have been disrupted by socials. Now the people who thrive in the socials are now the ones who are able to shape influence, opinions, and all that. So for any brand, you have to be present. You have to work with what is working at the moment. Yeah, because you could insist and go traditional and still go back to your marketing being leaning more towards traditional media, but you're gonna lose a big chunk of the market. So you have to be present and you have to use what is working at the moment.
Nice.
And on that point, when we started those conversation we were having of, like Tesh had his fashion brand and, it's so easy for anyone to like print a t-shirt and sell to their friends, right? So those early days of ArtFit, how did you, of course, start out, initially sell to your community and just sort of like break out that valley of death where so many guys who have like these ambitions to start businesses just are not able to scale them?
Now, for it, our journey is really interesting. It's not linear. So it's not really one thing leading into another. There are aspects of acceleration. There are aspects of making a mistake somewhere in the middle and going back to the drawing board. Because, for instance, our entry into the market, I had a passion of just wearing things that I've made for myself.
Okay.
And then when I wear them, if someone wants it, there's a time we used to issue them for free. Because I remember when we did the first package of sweatsuits, they were in like 4 or 5 shades. They were in sky blue, brown, white, black. I'd imported like 300 sets or plain sets from China. Then I was like, I really don't care even if I make money out of these. But one thing I know, half or less are going to be sold. The rest I'm going to give out. So, and then I'm giving out to these people so that they can be seen wearing them. Because that is how you start to excite value around a product.
Okay.
Because then again, what are you going to do? Like,
interesting. Were you seeing those people as influencers then?
Yeah.
So you chose the people very carefully.
I chose people within my circle because naturally, if I give you something and you wear it, you're going to meet 5 people, 5, 6, 7 people. It was a mix of people within my circle who are my friends. They are not popular, but they meet people and they have families and all that. Then there was also giving to influencers so that they could wear it and you could just have the photo opportunity to have it on social media and try to push it. And then the other one is just calling your moneyed friends and telling them, you have to support me. You don't have an option. You have to buy these. So by the time you've done that and you've seen at least 1 or 2 people coming back to order for more, you'll see maybe there's an opportunity in this. Let me keep at it.
Wow. So in that particular case, did you finish, was it 300? You finished all that stock? What happened?
I wore a lot of them. And I gave out a lot. And the ones I even sold, by the time the money comes to you, you've eaten the money. Fuliza has taken it.
Has taken most of it.
Yeah, because if you're making only 1 order or 2 in a day, because you're also starting up, there's a likelihood that once you put the money together, it's not even useful anymore.
Yeah. So for those who don't know ArtFit, maybe just some perspective from selling that 1 piece a day. Where are you at today? Do you have any physical stores? Where are you selling? No. How's that going?
From the humble beginnings of selling a piece a day and a piece a day of something you didn't manufacture, you only branded it, to a place where I can't give the number. You want me to give the numbers that?
You
Okay,
can
I
give
can't
very
give
high
them.
level.
High level.
It's quite a lot. We move a lot. We have a team of over 40 employees
Wow, that's
at the
impressive.
moment, and you know, it just
And now you're manufacturing.
and we are
You have a
manufacturing.
godown, you put together
yeah,
pieces.
and we have a capacity of just putting out between 200 and 500 pieces a day.
Wow.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive.
So from there, you can just look at now what we've been able to achieve with the brand.
That's incredible. And creating jobs for the people is big. How have you grown as a leader
That
to get to that point as well?
so much that I'm responsible to such a, not me, we are all, because it doesn't take my effort alone. It's given me so much responsibility, even at a personal level. Because sometimes I could be having money, but I know it's this money, I cannot use it because you are always, as a business owner and a business owner who cares for sustainability of the business, you're always looking at that time when maybe we want to expand, we might have an emergency, we might be dealing with a problem we didn't plan for. It's going to take this money for us to get back into business. So it's giving me a lot of responsibility in terms of discipline, financial discipline. The fact that in as much as you're a leader and you have privilege, you have to lead by example. There are things you are not allowed to do. There are things you're not. I used to be very opinionated on social media. I could just say anything. I could just wake up and say some one of the most outrageous things. And critique and get into arguments on social media. But now when you are responsible for this number of people and whatever you say, they take it seriously because at the end of the day, they're looking up to you. So it makes you have a lot of restraint on how you conduct yourself, financial discipline, and just puts you on toes to just look for what's the next big thing that we're going to do, because all those people want to grow. They want to see the brand grow so that they can also grow.
Yeah. And when you're just telling us the story, you mentioned there's quite a number of mistakes in your journey.
Yes.
Yeah, they're just like were in the process of building ArtFit. So I'm just curious, like, what's one which you remember dearly? You mentioned you even had to sell an asset to keep the business running. Like, just tell us about that.
There is one that almost killed me. I think during that time I understood when people talk about I really don't want to call it being depressed, because I was going through something. I was going through something that even me, I couldn't understand. There was this period in 2022 when we decided to start doing production. Then something just lied to me. You overestimate the importance of the brand or yourself. And then you say, I can afford 5 to 10 employees. When you look at that payroll, at the end of the month, you haven't even collected half of the money you need to pay people. You haven't collected through sales. So you are not operating as a business. You are a charitable organization. So that period, making that mistake of making sure that I have employees, I made sure I had close to 10 employees, and relying on the wisdom of my friend at that time, we also had like 10 influencers on a monthly retainer. I did that for 6 months. By the time I'm actually not even 6, by the time I'm on the 4th month, I need to sell something to keep the doors open.
Wow.
So what happens? I sell. That was my second car. I sold it. Once I sold it, it didn't take more than 2 months. We were in the same
Position.
position we
again.
were.
Wow.
Now you don't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have money. You don't have
Your business is not.
the business. You can see yourself closing, and obviously the employees, they need to make a decision because they need a source of livelihood. You know, that is the time that I looked for another friend of mine trying to plead with him because he had a bigger brand to buy us out so that I could just walk out. I could just walk out of this madness. But you know, he said no. He said, why would we buy you when we can do exactly what you are doing without having to buy you? And then we negotiated, and then I told that is when I told him that if we can do production for you so that we can just retain these key employees, so that during that time I can just get someone who's either passionate or would want to consider to invest in a brand. Yeah. So that period was really difficult because I didn't need all those employees. I didn't need all those influencers. I didn't need that prime space that we were doing production from. I hadn't figured out sales and marketing. I'd figured out marketing. I hadn't figured out sales because these are two totally different things. Plus, we were really young. We needed to go through a period of the market accepting you, because that is also a thing. Yes.
Wow. Is there a quote you know now that you feel like just walked you through that period?
I think they could be many, because I just needed many. One, you die either way. You'll die either way. So just keep at it. You'll die either way. So if you choose this to kill you, then it's still fine. Yeah. And then also the other one that was, the best. It's a bit cliche. People love using it, but I think it's powerful. When they say the best time you could have started a business was probably 5 years. Some use a tree. The best time you could have started a business is 5 years ago. The next best time is now, because even if you wait for 5 years, you'd be starting at the same step you could have started right now. Yes.
And I can say whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You survive.
I wouldn't. That one I wouldn't.
You're not sure if you're strong.
There is sometimes something that doesn't kill you leaves you with enough trauma not to try other things.
How did you work to get out of all the mess? And
a friend of mine chipped in. They gave me a gig that I was able to make money at least and forget about the business for a while. During that period, I'd even called one of my sisters and I'm like, I'm gifting you a whole business. Just take this thing. I don't want to see a call from you. You just run this business. I have very little expectations. As long as you're paying the rent, you're paying yourself, and all the tailors that we have are getting paid, which is a really, because that time we'd only been left with, I think, 2 tailors. I'd lost the whole team. I didn't care for anything to do about the brand. I was like, your deliverables are very simple. Keep these doors open. Make sure you don't lose these
key employees.
You don't lose these 2 tailors, and make sure you don't lose these machines we use and all that. Just if you decide tomorrow you want to start manufacturing school uniforms,
go ahead.
Go ahead. Let me just go figure out on the other side. If I'm able to get money, then I can come back and we figure this out all over again. Yes.
When did the wind tails turn and things are becoming positive and you hope came back?
You know, I after now I've taken like some time off from the business. I think it was close to 4, 5, 6 months. Then I've made a bit of money. I came back and we agreed now we're gonna run this business the way it's telling us to run it. There's no need to have too many people doing it. There's no need to have an oversupply of material, accessories and whatnot. Let's put out into the market what we can comfortably be able to put as we increase the marketing so that we are able to create the demand. So then around that period, I just came across someone who's equally passionate in the industry. I think I came across like 2 or 3 people who are also passionate in the industry, and they were willing to just take care of some of the challenges within the business that I didn't want to worry about, or they could weigh me down if I had to worry about them, from operations to customer service. Yeah, you know, you know, when I onboarded my initial team for operations and customer service and marketing, content and marketing, you know, they used to ask me like, so you used to do all these things alone? It's me walking around with a customer service phone. It's me who's scheduling shoots and directing them. It's me who's managing the people who are doing production. It's me who's posting across the platform. It's me who's updating the website and, you know, and they were like, you know, the issue with that is you achieve very little. Like it just takes one customer who's so mad at you in the morning for you to write off the whole day because now you're not useful. You know, you're going to speak to other customers in a way that is not good. You're going to transfer the frustration to your production team. It's just a mess. So around that period, I found people who are also passionate about fashion brands, local production. And then we were able to come up together and say, okay, we understand where we are as a brand. We can build from here. At least 5 to 10,000 people know we exist. For that reason, let's just start from here. Let's cut all the non-essential things. Let's push only what we have. Let's onboard a team one at a time. Let's have targets. Let's change how we do shoots. Let's have our own in-house team, content and marketing team. And then with time, you start seeing, okay, this thing could work.
Interesting. Yes. So this is a lot of self-taught stuff, and you made a lot of mistakes on that journey. Are there any sources of content or learning that you used that you'd want to share that help you through?
Not really. There was
School of Hard Knocks.
This is pure School of Hard Knocks and waking up every day and knowing that you're going back to the village, you're going back to Kisii.
And it doesn't work.
Like
that's inspiration.
You're like, this has to work. It has to work. Okay. If anything, this has to work. And then you not being able to picture yourself in an 8 to 5. You know, you have that talk with yourself where you're like, you know, when business batters you, more so when you are shouldering all the responsibility for growth, the money, the vision, the money, the direction, employees, it batters you to a point where you start looking at people who go to work and just asking yourself, did I think I'm more special than those people? you know, you look at them and you're like, I want your life. I wish I could go back
Yeah.
and just
pick another path.
yeah, like you even have that real talk with yourself. You're like, did I think I'm that smart?
Mm.
No, you're like, no, look at you. You think you're so smart. look, you know, you're having that conversation and you're speaking to your mind. You're telling your mind, you think you're so smart. Now look at what you're doing to the rest of the body. The stomach is just about not to eat because of this, because of your decision. You're about to walk back to your village because of your decisions. But now the funny thing is, sometimes you know, you get challenges, and then I think also in as much as the challenges are there, if your vision is kind of stubborn on you, like I want to do this, like I can't see myself doing something else, and I know there is a market opportunity. Ni vile tu sai things are not going okay, but I can see them. There is no way 100 people believed and bought the first collection that I did. So there is another 100 that can believe. So when I feel like when the vision sometimes is so stubborn, the universe conspires to just put people on your path. Or sometimes it gives you a bit of lifeline so that you think whether you want to keep doing this or not. So for me, those are the only things that kept me on the way. Like just meeting someone who's interested in sales and marketing. I'm like, you mean you love sales? How?
Interesting.
And you mean you're telling me that you could turn over 100, 200K sales in a day? How? You need, like, how?
Yeah.
And you want to do that with ArtFit. You're sure?
Yeah.
Try it. Then you give them the chance, and then of course they don't start at 100 because it's a new brand. It's something that also getting to learn how to do, understanding how the habits of the market that we sell to. But now you can see they started doing 20, now they're doing 50, now they're doing 80, and you're like, okay, I'll keep at it. Let's see where this goes. Let's see where this goes.
Awesome.
Well, I think that's really powerful, and I like how you talked about sales and marketing. We at Chapter, of course, we want to assist businesses to like drive more sales online.
Yes.
And in the beginning, you said you thought you knew what sales and marketing was, but you were like proven wrong. Like you probably understood marketing more than sales. So
yes,
like what exactly did you mean by that, and like how have you gotten better at sales personally and also at ArtFit?
I do know sales is like a whole. It's a whole department of its own. I didn't know that there are tools that are there specifically to assist sales and nothing else. I didn't know that sales has to be, to some extent, people think like you have to satisfy an existing demand. Sales and marketing is there to create new demand.
Okay.
And when you create new demand, the people who ensure that that demand is met and satisfied are the salespeople, because now that is where you bring in customer service, you bring in upselling, you bring in the aspects of cross-selling, because that is the time I also understood that when a customer comes to buy, let's say a hoodie or a jacket, that person is not going to wear the hoodie alone. They need a t-shirt. And by extension, they need pants. So you get to, as a good salesperson, you get to understand this person, can I push them from here to here? They intended to buy one item.
Okay.
But I need to make sure they bought 3. And then now you start understanding that selling to a market that you already have is easier than selling to a new lead. So you have to do constant follow-up, go back to your customer base and give them something new. Because people always consume. If they're not buying ArtFit, they're probably buying something else. So how you have these people, and that is where Chapter becomes such a strong value proposition to us as a brand, because it enables us to be able to talk to our existing customers.
Okay.
Put in systems where we are able to just give them that smooth channel of communication, and a really easy on a very traditional platform, which is WhatsApp. Everybody's on WhatsApp. Yes.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Awesome. This has been really exciting. Just learning from your resilience journey. It's very inspiring how you stuck on and managed to build what you've built. Yeah, Mark, do you have any final question?
Yeah, I think I love your brand. Actually, the
Thank
look
you.
and feel
Thank
of
you.
it is really
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
So just as we wrap up, what can you say is like the ethos of ArtFit, and where are you looking to take the brand in the next 4 years?
Ethos, what grounds the brand? I wouldn't point to one specific one. It's just a host of ideas and visions that we have for not just for ArtFit as a brand, for the entire fashion ecosystem. We want to see a Nairobi Fashion Week.
Okay.
And as long as we are not creating the fashion ourselves, there is no day you can go to the ready-to-wear market, Turkey, China, and do a fashion week. And then the fact that we look at the Paris Fashion Week or the New York Fashion Week, and we just look at them. Even Nigerians do a really good job, even the way they show up to events. The only way you are able to do that if you control the creative direction of anything that someone is going to wear.
Okay.
Creativity has to start from garment design, cutting, stitching, and all that. You can't achieve a fashion week without that component, having all that control in the design process of garments. So our vision would be to pioneer an industry that essentially people think is lost. They would quote, you'd find someone talking about Kikomi, but there's no way a government is going to solve the issue around creative design, around creative marketing, fashion as an identity, fashion as an art. That has to come from the people in the creative economy themselves.
Yeah.
So we the vision is to elevate the brand, make it a Kenyan brand that just dresses the whole of Africa and the whole of the world. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Thank you. I think lastly, where can we find ArtFit?
You can find us on Instagram, artfit.africa. Then you can find us on Facebook. If you are such a vintage, you can find us on Facebook, ArtFit Africa. You can check out our website, artfitapparels.shop. You can also find us on TikTok. We took on challenges, deadly. You can have a good time. You can have a good time checking out what we've been able to achieve.
Wonderful.
Yes, on TikTok, ArtFit Africa. Yes.
All right.
All right, cool.
Yeah, Josh, it was so good to have you. Thanks a lot.
It was exciting. I wish it could go longer.
Yeah,
I know.
Thanks for taking the time. We've learned a lot.
Yes.
And guys, please subscribe, and we'll keep bringing you the top entrepreneurs and learning from them as well. You can find us on chapter.co across all social media platforms. Yeah, and until next time, take care.
All right, cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.